Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is a Valentine's Day, Sunday, February 14th, 2021. Hello again. We will be playing Dyson Sphere Program today, but between the end of my previous stream today and right now, I have gotten a few things. Because it is Valentine's Day, my mother gave me a few things for the day today, of which I've got some chocolate hearts in a bag of hearts. They're hearts. So we've got those things. We've got this thing. Rich dark chocolate crispy thins. The divine chocolate. This is... It's made in Belgium from cocoa grown in Ghana. So that's a thing. That's a thing. They are apparently Rice Crisps that are covered in dark chocolate. And likely some other stuff too. So, that's a thing. That's a thing. She also gave... in a Hugs and Kisses bag, an 80% chocolate bar. Dark chocolate. Lake Champlain. I really like this company, this particular chocolate, so she also got not as dark chocolate for herself and her partner. Different varieties, a milk chocolate and one with something else, some other variant, but this Lake Champlain, this stuff's pretty good. And then, of course, the box, the heart box of assorted chocolates. So, I got this size, she got a bigger size to share with her partner. So there's that. There goes the concept of being somewhat low carb for a little while, but hey, it's Singles Awareness Day, in case you were not aware. So with that shown off, let us get into Dyson Sphere Program, where we need to talk about quite a bit of things. Quite a few things. Oh right, I'm here. We are currently on a Klarkrov 1. We did not end off last stream on a Klarkrov 1. I had a little bit of a neck problem, so I wasn't streaming for a few days at the end of last week, and I did spend a fair amount of time scaling. I have been scaling my base. When we last met, we were sort of building a Dyson Sphere. Oh, how things have changed. Oh, how things have changed. This is the current state of our Dyson Sphere. Isn't it glorious? It's glorious and beautiful, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Lots of stuff is going on here. Essentially what's happening is that I have set up, I actually completely destroyed the one that we had set up, the actual structure that we had set up last time. Completely destroyed it, and redid it from scratch. Going along the actual grid lines of the thing we'll have a look at the actual statistics of the Dyson Sphere and all of that in here. But all of this little in-between stuff forming the sphere itself between the structural elements, that's solar sails that have been sucked in to the nodes. Basically, each node will grow the solar sails in a set radius around the node. Why, hello, Ollie. Why, hello, my Ollie. And, it seems to suck in the solar sails from quite a distance. From quite a distance, so essentially every single solar sail that was part of my swarm is now part of the permanent structure. Why, hello, Ollie. How's the boy? How's my pretty boy? 1 day away from being 11 months old. Hi. How's the boy? Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff in the way. I've got a whole bunch of little hearts and dark chocolate crisps and a chocolate bar of 80% dark chocolate and an assorted heart thingy in your way. It's all in your way, right? You don't want to eat it, right? Right. So, that's the beautiful Dyson Sphere being made around our home star right now. This has taken a fair bit of effort to do this. Ollie. Down. Down. There we go. I don't want to tweak my neck again. Thanks. Don't go. Leave. Don't go for that light that's off. Share the chocolate. Listen, I would be fine with sharing the chocolate that's not the dark chocolate. I want the dark chocolate. I'm not as keen on the things like this, the like hearts, the milk chocolate hearts, or even the assorted thingy here, because I'm trying to be low carb again. I'm trying to lose some weight here through a keto-ish diet, but you know. So I'm used to really dark chocolate. When I have chocolate, I'm used to having it be really dark. I really like this 80% range of dark chocolate. So that is all for me. The rest I don't care as much about. So there's our sphere. There it is. I have been a few places, shall we say. I've been a few places. I want to go today to Sinosora, which sounds like a dinosaur name. And I think we should probably have a look at the black hole and the neutron star. We should probably have a look at those at some point, rather soon-ish. I'm gonna say that I went there to both of those locations to see what the density is like on the unipolar magnets. Unfortunately, the neutron star has like 1 million, and the black hole has a couple million, and that's it. There's no like 15, 20 million unipolar magnets, unfortunately, and those seem to be the only two places that have them. I haven't like gone and looked literally everywhere for them, but those are the two places I saw that had them, and they don't really have that much. Is Dyson Sphere Program CPU heavy? Let me look. No. Not particularly. It's my entire system is using 51%, about 50% of my CPU right now. No, Dyson Sphere is gonna be more GPU intensive. They seems to be pretty decent, actually, in terms of hardware performance and stuff. But I also have a rather good CPU. I've got a Haswell E, the top end Haswell E, the X99 platform, 5960X or something like that. Something along those lines. i7. A little dated, but still really good for what it is. To get an equivalent thing would cost, I think it's $350-ish to get an equivalent CPU these days, plus the cost of a motherboard. And of course, if you're going to replace what you've got, you should get something better. And that's why for this entire time I've had planned out a $750-ish upgrade to my computer, but never gonna have that money to do it. Never gonna have $750. So, I didn't really show on the other planet that well, but on a Kharkov 1, I set up the array firing, but I also have a build of solar sails there. I'm producing a whole bunch of solar sails on a Kharkov 1 and bringing in the resources for that. So, yeah, we're able to shoot the thingy a lot up there. Fire in the laser beam thingy. Okay, Ollie's grooming. You're trying to save for Horizon? Yeah, that's my thought. My thought is, well, at this point there's a new Ryzen generation out, but I was looking at a potential for a Ryzen 9 system that the motherboard and the CPU would have been together about $750 to do the more substantive upgrade to my system than spending a bunch of money on a new GPU, new graphics card. That would also be on the agenda at some point. Oh hey, we got another 15. Let's push Y and go to the Dyson Sphere. My Dyson Sphere is capable of producing 2.2 gigawatts. And that's how much of it has been built so far. Of what's been built. And if we go to our layers, I can place nodes for basically all but the tip top and the bottom. I think we have the one more tech lets me do the rest. And I can actually complete the sphere. Must complete the sphere at some point. But yeah, I'm just following, you can pretty clearly see I'm just following the grid lines on the specific squared grid on here when forming these nodes. That's all I've done, is just follow the grid. And it's progressing. So there's that. That is that. Yes, there is exactly one more of those techs. However, now that we have that all set up, this is charging accumulators. Alright. Turns out I need a bit more power. So, it would probably help if I had some ray receivers, right? Because we now have the ability to throw in graviton lenses on our ray receivers on planets with atmospheres, and are able to receive power from the Dyson Sphere even at night on our planets. So, and it, of course, increases the amount of power you generate per collector, receiver. So it would probably make sense if I had them automated, right? Well, I do. I have them automated at this point, so I now can do a few things. We can do a couple of things here. I'm gonna do these things probably over here and split the little doohickeys as we go along. Now, unfortunately, these are a belt input, and they don't pass through, which is a bit of a shame. I don't think I like that as much. So I can start placing things here. This needs to have splitters. Whoops. And please tell me that yes, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I may have strip mined a Clarkrop 4 as well. I may have started doing some a lot more production of various things. I've been scaling just a tad. So yeah, these will now continuously receive as long as they've got graviton lenses, of which each one uses the lenses at 1/4 of 1 a minute. That's not much. That's not a lot. So I am very confident that we are going to be okay. On the graviton lenses for now. And let's leave it at this. However, we may not want all of these producing power. We may not want all of these making power. Oh no, 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 no. Because you see, these buildings are the gateway to antimatter. These buildings produce photons. And the rate increases with stuff, so I could, I think, do that, and it will use graviton lenses, and it will continuously receive, and it will do all the wonderful things, but it will produce photons rather than power. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, these 4 in here, not the middle one's fine as it is, these have an output. I'll actually just output all the way to this ring and then connect everything from there going forward. So, why hello there, glowing photons. We need a specific building that I don't currently have to process these photons into antimatter. We need a particle collider. Oh, how sad. Oh, how sad that we need to make particle colliders. That's gonna need frame materials and supermagnetic rings. Let me put away those guys. Excuse me. Put them away. Thanks. Like, I need to be able to manually put in more than the max, right? Wouldn't that make more sense? I should be able to manually put in more than the max. Ooh. Why, hello there. That's nice. How about the structural frames? Surely we have structural frames, right? Somewhere? Why, somewhere we do, and I remember specifically that I scaled them a bit. There we go. I scaled those. Give me the two things that I can now make. I wonder how many I'll actually need if I wanted to do stuff at scale. Oh boy. Now that's a question. Now that's a good question. If I really wanted to do this at scale, what would I need? Because this guy operates... Ah! One per second gives 1 per second, and it gives antimatter and matter, or in this case a hydrogen and the anti-hydrogen, as I tend to call it. There you go. Go ahead and enjoy your photons. So as long as we can make a photon a second, this rate will increase as the continuous receiving bonus accrues over time. Now, of course, where we're located, I don't think we have much of a problem. Oh, hey, the gas giant's in the way, and yet we're still somehow managing to fire. Are we firing through the gas giant? We're barely not firing through the gas giant. Well, that's good. At least I thought of that. So we're not firing through the gas giant, but this is going to go into night soon. This is clearly night on this side, and as it rotates and this barrier goes through, this continuous receiving will continue to accrue for as long as there are graviton lenses. We need to deal with the hydrogen that's output from here in some way, shape, or form. So, doinky. 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 We don't need all that much. It's just we have to deal with it somehow. And it's 8 megajoules. Now, if I wanted to make antimatter fuel rods, that's a different story, because then it's an even amount of stuff to make the fuel rods in a assembler. So these are made out of this. This needs the particle containers and CPUs. Well, that's easy. That's super easy, this annihilation constraint sphere. But it's 1-to-1 on the matter and antimatter, and it's an alloy. So that's real easy to make. Why you're not allowed to make this in the replicator, I don't know. I simply do not know. It would be nice, but I think the initial set of outputs here, off of this guy is going to go into our stuff. Into our stuff. How very specific. Into our science, of course. This guy is going to be upgrading science. I mean that literally. The antimatter is needed to make universe matrices. These are one of every science plus antimatter. And we can just make them. We need to do a stack of 15 to do that. Or we need 15 for it. And then, of course, you could take this tech and be done. Once you make 4,000 of the things, you're done. You've completed the game. Or you can do all the other sort of upgrades that you want, but, you know, that's that, as it were. Everything else is sort of superfluous. There's no other real goal. What are we going to do? Well, I want, what will I do? How will I do this? I want these, because I'm going to need to have...
You have established an
I have established an interstellar logistic network. I would have never guessed. I don't really know if I need that many of them, but I do know that I want to... I'm not providing blues, or reds, or yellows. I am doing purples and greens. So I don't even need that. I just need one more. Demand, storage, demand, storage, demand, storage, demand, storage. I need to be able to type in the number that I want. Demand, storage. This is not going to supply anything. It does not need to be powered. I will need to make matrix labs, and I'm missing what? Iron ingot? There you go, 15 of them. Power. Power is nice. I like power. Thank you for the NRG. And the antimatter. The most anti of matter. Alright, how many doohickeys? Where's the... things? Stack. Hi. You! How tall can I actually build? Apparently not that tall. What's my height limit? Lab height limit 13? That will give me 15. The perfect amount to do 1 per second with 1 tower of the universe matrices. Which is pretty much exactly why this tech ends here, I would imagine. Go ahead and finish that, and then do... like, what? Like, what even do I need at this point? Well, we can just chew through the not universe matrix techs. And that's about it, really. I've got a few that don't use the universe matrix. just eh. I need to provide all of those as well. So let's see. You are there. I'll need some sort of an output belt in. Now it's 5, right? It's 5 plus 1, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6. What am I doing? You there. Da 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 da. You, those. You, those. You, those. You, those. And you, those. And you, those. Give power. And it's gonna load up all of the stuff it can for the moment. But I will need to add yellow, red, and blue onto my logistic network. Oh joy, oh bliss. What I'll do... probably just set this here. Yeah. I will divert. Alright. Yellow cubes. Red and blue. I will give you... Really? I need more? Hold on. Where are those again? That is one thing Nilaus has done that I should have probably done. You can take science packs, build belt, and place science packs on belt and spell out what's where as like a rudimentary way of marking what area does what in your base. Just like use belt to spell out what you have in a zone and put the bright glowing science cubes on those areas, on those belts. There we go. There we go. Remote storage, remote storage, remote storage. And we will actually need power on this one. Okay, same thing with the red. And then go down, like so. And that will be the red. Glorious. Beautiful. And then there was blue. Blue's a little more tricksy. Huh? Oh. We have to start low and then go up. Oh. And then we go here, and then we go down. One more tile. One more tile, and then we go down. No, I don't want you to go in the middle one. No, I don't want you to go in the middle one. I want you to go on the far left one. Blue! And then blue on the output. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, how nice. Oh, how very, very nice. So, blue is going all the way up. Go a few more tiles, and then I can probably... Yep. Sneak my way down there. Huzzah! Huzzah! And there you have it. Oh. Hi. You know, what would be nice is if you were Mark III sorters. There you go. That is a bit better. Just a bit better than previously. Granted, there's that segment of belt there that's Mark I, which learned recently that if you hold shift, you can now mass dismantle and delete an entire line at a time. It's pretty glorious. If you push X and you hold shift, yeah, it'll delete that whole segment. Yeah, it'll delete that whole, the entire single segment, no matter how big or how long that segment is. If you hold shift, it'll delete the whole freaking thing, and it's actually pretty glorious for cleaning up like a main bus. Not having to delete one unit at a time. So now, going back towards the spot we're doing stuff, wherever that is. Hello! Hello, building. We are making glorious universe matrices. I do know about you. The problem with you, with the upgrade and the shift click of the upgrade, is that it only works one step at a time. It only works one step at a time. You can't upgrade from Mark 1 to Mark 3. And it won't allow you to do that click if you don't have Mark II belt in your inventory. If you're upgrading from Mark 1. Same with the sorters. So if you haven't done that upgrade yet, from 1 to 2 across the board, there's no purpose. There is a mod that exists that lets you do it, though, that I guess adds an extra little thingy that lets you do that. Hello, Vicky. Welcome. I now have... no, this needs to go into a different building entirely. Squiggles! I now have squiggles. That's what I have. I have the glorious universe matrices. Yay! Glorious universe matrices. They exist and are on my network. Speaking of on my network, you may have noticed, or may not have noticed, that I've put a bunch of stuff on my network. Why you know make things. Maybe I just need to upgrade things. Yeah, I need upgrade. Huh. I need some Tesla towers. I'm not gonna carry around Mark II things in my inventory. He says carrying around a bunch of intermediates that are expensive intermediates, but is deleting them from the face of existence anyway. Because they're taking up too much room. Like, I have a bad enough time keeping my inventory managed. So, that's white cubes. When I have 4,000 white cubes, we've beaten the game. Technically. So it's at this point where it's like, huh. What now? What now, right? And that's part of the inherent early access nature of this game at the moment. This game feels very front-loaded in its content. And like a lot of effort went into the mechanics behind the Dyson Sphere. Like, they spent so much time, someone on the team spent a hell of a lot of time simulating how luminosity and distance from the sun and all of that impacts the statistics of the Dyson Sphere that you're building. And like how the nodes have to figure out how much power that they produce, how many little solar cells can go in between each node on the sphere and all that. A lot of time was put into this part of the game. What do we need it for? We need a little bit. We need a Dyson thing to exist to get photons for antimatter. You can beat this game without making a permanent Dyson Sphere structure. You can beat this game with just a Dyson swarm. And it doesn't even need to be that big. Like, you can do like one ray receiver receiving photons from a Dyson swarm rather than the structure itself, and you can get your universe matrices and beat the game. So there needs to be a little bit more added. A legitimate reason to build and complete the Dyson Sphere, right? Because I would think the game being called Dyson Sphere Program, that the end goal is not to get a tech, not just to get a tech, but to get a tech that requires you to have a finished Dyson Sphere. Right? So they need to add something that you can only get when you have a finished Dyson Sphere to the end of the game. They need to add something there to actually beat the game. That's only unlockable from a complete Dyson Sphere. What that would be, I don't know. It could be literally anything in the universe. Just some item that you need that you can only get from a complete Dyson Sphere. But that's my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. Would anyone agree or disagree with that sentiment? That, you know, it might need a little bit more at the end. Just may need a bit more. Speaking of needing a bit more, I need a bit more deuterium. I've actually placed a couple of particle colliders making deuterium out of hydrogen because I've got a little bit of hydrogen about the place. I need some deuterium for stuff and things. Anyway, now that we've done that, I was going to place down my other particle collider that I have, so let's go and orient myself again wherever I'm making those white cubes over here. Great big tower. And we're going to place this there. Sure, why the heck not? So it looks like it caps at 10 per minute per ray receiver. Well, just so as we're clear on this, we need 1 per minute. Or 1 per second for the science, right? We're not actually processing that full amount because I need to place 2 more labs once we accrue this next tech. So I actually need to swap over 2 of these at least to photon generation. I may actually swap all of them if I have the power to do so. That's a thing. Oh, right. I want to do that. I want to do that on the other side. Hello. Wherefore art thou? Hi. I need a few of these. Thanks. Can I even place it that close? Yes, I can. Dang. Can I just say, dang. Well, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, we can do every other. And these can be for the power, because, I mean, we don't really need as much on the power now, do we? These are currently set to power. The whole point of doing that switch over, adding those 5, was to change these to photon generation. There we go. And now we have more than 1 per second of photons coming in. This is consuming a lot of Dyson Sphere power. This is actually consuming 125 megawatts. In reality, because of ray receiving efficiency, 166 megawatts each from the Dyson Sphere. So maybe I have to take back a little bit of what I said about the Dyson Sphere thing, because clearly we do need one that's capable of producing quite a bit of power. But still, we're like, what, halfway on this set of the sphere? This Dyson Sphere, when we're done with it, and are fully encompassing the star, is gonna produce what? More than 10 gigawatts, I would imagine. Just based off of what we've built so far. Like, once this is done with the existing amount, we're going to be greater than 5. Now, I would imagine at least 10 once the full sphere is complete, so... I mean, yeah, we need it for at scale, but... do we need it at gigantic scale? Not really, no. Nah. Not actually. Not at ginormous scale. We need it at a scale, not massive scale. I'm gonna make the assumption, or make the prediction that when Nilaus gets to this point on his playthrough of making universe matrices, he's gonna want to make 30 like all of the others, and is gonna be very disappointed when he realizes that a single Dyson Sphere around a blue giant is not gonna be enough. And we'll have to take all that time if he truly wants to get to 30 of the whites in the end. 30 of all the other ones, yeah, by this point in the game, that's fine. But 30 of these? 30 of this? I don't know about that. I don't know about having the patience, personally, to do something like that in the current state of the mechanics without... well, unless mods are able to help give us a far superior copy-paste experience. There is a mod that lets you copy and paste inserters now. It has some bugs with it, but it is a thing that exists. But you're modding the game for a feature that should really be in the game. Like, really be in the game. Vertical Construction 6. Yay! 2 more labs. Now we can truly make 1 a second. Now we can truly make 1 a second as long as we provide the stuff. Looks like I need more reds. We may need a few more reds. And we need power for you. Okay. This little machine is going to output to an assembler. an assembler assembling these in the end. Now, yes, I do need the constraint spheres and the alloys, so constraint spheres, alloys. And, of course... Oh, hey, there's alloys. Like, oh, hey. There's alloys right there. Well, that just leaves the constraint spheres now, doesn't it? How quickly does this do its thing? 12 seconds! This is fine. This is fine. Everything will be okay. So, constraint spheres needs particle containers and processors. Well, wouldn't you know it? We've got processors here. So there's the processors. We just need the particle containers. Well, aren't those somewhat nearby too? I hope. Please don't make me have to place down a thingy bringing in particle containers. Please, please be close by. Please be close. You're not close. They are not close. Blah. Blarg. Alright then. Plop. Particle containers. Demand. Storage. Not all of them, and then you'll provide antimatter fuel rods. How quickly do you make the things? 1 every 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just like that. Just like that. And, hello? Excuse me? No. No. Huh. Well, that's a thing. That is definitely a thing. Ah, yes, I need, that, too. And I need that output. Huzzah! Antimatter fuel rods are a go. 7.5 gigajoules each. With plus 500% charging. I'm going to go out on a limb and make a guess that with a sufficient level of technology, as well as with antimatter fuel rods, you are able to maintain your charge while warping. Meaning that you will be able to warp anywhere and not actually lose charge on your chamber. You are going to consume the power of the fuel rods, mind you, but I would hope that there is a certain level of tech upgrades, specifically, where are you? Energy circuit tech. Increases recovery speed of core energy. The higher the fuel chamber's power, the faster the mech converts fuel into energy. This is that tech. And it's infinite. And you get an extra +1 fuel power. Where is that even listed here? 2.4 megawatt. Mega fuel power. This is your base charging rate. Converting fuel to power. This gets multiplied by the fuel multiplier to charging power. So right now, the Deuteron fuel rod has a fuel chamber generation multiplier of +300%. Note that this is +300%, not times 300%, which means that if actually coded that way, as a +300 rather than a times 300, this is a 4x multiplier overall. Because you have your base amount, and then you add 3 times that amount. You add 3 more for 4 of it. So instead of being the 2 point something, it's now... Well, it tells you. It tells you. We've got 9.6 megawatts. So, from... Where is it? From 2.4. Let's math. 2.4 times 3 is 7.2. 2.4 times 4 is 9.6. So, yes, it is mathematically the plus 300%, which is a 4.0 multiplier to the base speed. So base being 2.4 times 4 gives you 9.6, and that is how much we charge overall. It's joules per second for megawatts. So every second we charge 9.6 megajoules and burn that much from this fuel rod. Once we add in antimatter fuel rods, which have the same stack size. Once we add in the antimatter fuel rods, and once we start consuming the antimatter fuel rods, I'll have to use up this current deuterium rod before it updates. That one, this is a plus 500%, which is a times 6 multiplier. So instead of 2.4 times 4, it's 2.4 times 6, and that gives us a fuel power generation of 14.4 megawatts, which is a pretty big jump. Pretty big jump there in the amount of fuel power generation. As you can see, we can already fly around the surface of the planet without charging. Now it's even better, and there we go. It transitioned to 14.4, and these things have 7.5 gigajoules each, so they last a really, really long time. Oh, it's glorious. Oh, it's glorious. I'm so glad to be at this phase with these. I would like to test how this works in flight, in flight. Because the faster you can charge, the slower you drain while doing things like warping and speeding up. So, A, do I need to actually get more stuff before I go out off in the middle of nowhere? Or am I okay? I have put a bunch of things on my interstellar network. So even if I don't have what I need, I can get what I need. Alright, we're off. But I think you already knew that. We are going to go... to Sinosora first. Sinosora is 6.5 light years. Now, I can see that accelerating is draining my fuel reserve. Slowly, a lot slower than previously, and we are going to recharge a lot faster than previously. But just so that we're aware, with this tech right here, you're adding a megawatt of base mech fuel power. So you know that times 6? Yeah, each time we add this tech with our antimatter fuel rods, we're adding an extra 6 overall of megawatts. Or we're to what we had before. It's not really 1, it's 6. Meaning that we'll go from 14.4 to 20.4 once we take this tech, and that's why I'm going to queue it up now. Yeah, it's 4,000 of the thing, and I could take mission complete, but pff, whatever. Now, there is a diminishing return there. Not only should it be getting higher tech cost with each iteration, but you're adding a flat 6 each time, I would imagine. And that's going to be a thing. So we are still slowly draining. The question is, how many techs will it take of that +1 before we actually just stop draining while in warp? That will be super fun, because that means you have infinite range on your warp. You could warp from one end of the cluster to the other. Now, I wanted to go to Sinosora, and I forget which one of these. I actually completely forget which one of these. It was not the fractal silicon one. It was one of these. So, we've got optical grading crystals here on Sinosora 2, as well as some fire ice. I will say that I have tapped into fire ice in, what was it, the Gamma Circini, and I am processing that into graphene. I did do that off screen. We can go and have a look at that if you wish, but just to know that that is a thing that I have done off screen to improve the amount of graphene that we have. I don't care about the kimberlite. I do care about the organic crystals. We have another planet in another system that has a bunch of organic crystals already, and the spiniforms are graphene rolls, which is always nice. But I want Sinosora 2, and I think I've already built stuff here. Optical grading crystals. They make particle containers. F. That's the button I was looking for. They make particle... Or no, they don't make particle containers. They make Casimir crystals. Oh, right. It's the unipolars that make the other thing. Come on. Hit the thing. Thanks. Yeah, so I've already... I may have been here already. Optical grading crystals. I have tapped into, I think, the one and only. Yep, 1.3, 1.3. Patch here. What resource do we save by using optical grading crystals to make Casimir crystals? We save on a single titanium crystal per unit Casimir, which in turn saves an organic crystal and 3 titanium ingot. Is that valuable? Is that worthwhile? Well, in terms of pure power, yes, because you're not having to spend the power on the mining drills to make the 3 titanium ingots on converting them into titanium crystals. You're also saving on the need for organic crystals in their entirety. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing. In their entirety, for the purpose of making Casimir crystals. So you divert your titanium crystals into structure matrices. That's what you will need them for. That's what you can make more of by using these particular optical grading crystals instead of the titanium crystals. Means we can divert resources to other things, and that's why we are here and doing stuff. Now, this planet is tidally locked. Hello, Ave. Welcome. Welcome to Sinosora. It's a red star. This star. That is pretty close. 7 light years from a Klarkrov. And it has a planet with optical grading crystals. And I want to make use of them. I may want to make use of the fractal silicon or something. No, the other guy, Sinosora 1. I may want to make use of the organic crystals on Sinosora 1. Yeah, solar is 60% though. That's the only niggling little issue here, is that it's 60% on the solar due to its distance from the sun, but it is tidally locked. Which doesn't make much sense when there is a planet that is not tidally locked that is closer to the sun than this one. Huh. Huh, that doesn't actually work. So much, by the way. This also has 0 coal and 0 oil on it, and this system has no gas giant producing that can produce hydrogen. No gas giant here for infinite hydrogen. No oil on this planet. There's oil on another planet though, so I could do that. Oh, I would not need to ship deuteron fuel cells because we now have antimatter fuel rods. We can make artificial suns if we so desire. Yeah, no atmosphere on this particular rock. It's literally just a rock, always facing the sun. On a tidally locked planet like this, it is absolutely worth maximizing the density of solar panels. You're on your way to green science. I now have universe matrices. I have white. They exist. They're accruing. I'm just picking up, like, the last techs that don't use the white science before throwing in the white science. I'm gonna get all of these solar panels out of my inventory, by the way. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just getting all of them out and gone. Although I'm trying to remember if I put in a request for them. So yeah, I've basically beaten the game at this point. It's just that, yeah, we just need to take the tech. I'm not actually going to take the tech for a little bit. This is merely making me optical grading crystals. You have... Oh, I never set this to remote demand. That's what it was. Okay, I can clear that. Thanks. You're no longer required. Yeah, I set it to remote supply rather than demand. All right, we are done here for the moment. I'm going to go to Iklarkrov, head back to our wonderful Iklarkrov. And request these optical grading crystals and swap them. Like, swap the titanium crystals for these in my Casimir crystal setup. So that my titanium crystals can get used for yellow science instead of the Casimirs for the planes for the quantum chips. This is all for the quantum chips. Looks like we're on the left here. We've arrived. Oh, and Ave, you missed me talking about the whole power thing, mech power charging rate. The whole charging rate thing, because oh yeah, we're almost through our last one on the stress thing. This tech here, which adds +1 megawatt mecha fuel power. Mecha fuel power is the charging rate of the mech, how quickly it's able to convert the solid fuel into the mech fuel. This is listed here under mech fuel power, 2.4 currently. This adds 1 to that 2.4, but it's not actually 2.4 because in reality it's 14.4. Because it's adding 500%. Adding 500%, not multiplying by 500%. Adding 500, as in times 6. 2.4 times 6 to get 14.4. So when we get the next tech, that adds 1. We're not adding 1 when using the antimatter fuel rods. We're adding 6. So we'll be 20.4. Which is a bit of a boost. It's a bit of a boost. All right, over here, I'm gonna grab all of this wonderful antimatter. Thanks. Thanks for the glorious antimatter. Yeah, we are in need of red cubes, apparently, to continue making our universe matrix. So that's a little bit of a shame. Although I am, of course, consuming the red cubes right now, and I will be consuming for the next 6 attacks after this. I'm just noticing that it counts from 0, as it's supposed to. and that there are, in fact, 8 things here. There are 7 items queued, plus the one that is active. Oh yeah, and I did this thing. Just for reference, by the way, photons, they eat up 125 megawatts from your Dyson Sphere. After ray efficiency. So, each one uses 166 megawatts from the Dyson Sphere. I've got a few of them. So now my Dyson Sphere, we're requesting 2 gigs, 2 gigawatts of 2.74 that the Sphere can produce. How many labs do I have? I mean, I have a tower. I have a stack. A stack. I could actually add 2 more to my stack. I think my stack is, or how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I could add 2 more if I really wanted, but it looks like I'm processing the reds as quickly as they are being made. Huh. How tall is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's making a little over 2 per second as it stands. Interesting that then this is processing that full amount. Huh. A cube is 60 hashes, I'm imagining, so it's 1 per second per thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's interesting, because if it's making 2 per second, how is it that fast? Huh. I guess I'm wrong as to how many hashes a cube has. So then does a cube have 30? Is it consuming 2 per second per matrix lab? Or not 2 per second, but my meaning is that when this many is consuming 2 of the reds at a time, doesn't quite add up to me. It's like, how many hashes is a matrix? Because I would imagine that this whole thing should be lit. Well, regardless, looks like I'm in need of a thing known as more. 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 We need more. Eventually. Eventually. I have a mission to complete that I don't want to forget about. I need to find my little area of goodness. Is it that? No, no, no. I have this. Hello. Why, hello there. You are going to bring me my optical grading crystals. And you are going to bring me all of them. Every last one of them. over here somewhere. La di 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 da. Yeah. Hello. Oh, I haven't looked at the. Oh, you're Mark II. You're Mark II. I may have automated my Mark IIIs, by the way, off screen. And have a few more of them being made. Yeah, I have a few Mark IIIs at this point of the assemblers. So, that's just making the glass. I want to compare speed. They are the exact same speed. Okay. Thank goodness. That means that you are being replaced with those. And you are going to take those. I'll go through the last cycles here of the various things. Well, that's a few units of hydrogen. Goodbye. That's a few things. Goodbye. Just pick up the rest of that, and then doinky doinky. There we go. Much better. Huh? 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 There you go. So, they're stack inserters, meaning I have to pick up the things from the stack inserters that they're holding on to. There you go. That's so much better. This is probably using more than the belt of hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's 24 times 1.5? Pretty sure that's greater than 30. That's 36. Yeah. So, about that. I'm gonna need you to do that. I'm gonna need you to go up and over. That is so much better once it's all powered and such. Now they have the hydrogen that they need to operate fully. Helps when they've got the throughput that they need. Okay. That will scale up my quantum chips by a fair amount, right? times 1.5 even. And the amount of output of my chips. Yay! Chips. Quantum chips. Glorious and beautiful quantum chips. The most quantum. Oh yeah, and I scaled back my power from the deuterium fuel rods, deuterons, as well. Hey! We did the thing! Our Dyson Sphere! Capable of producing 2.75 gigawatts right now. We're using a little over 2 of it. We can now plan the entire sphere of the Dyson Sphere. This is the current status of our Dyson Sphere. Do I need to plan the expansion of the Dyson Sphere? Nah. No, I don't. Not at all, in the slightest, do I need to plan out the expansion of the Dyson Sphere. That would be dumb, because it's going to want to try to immediately build it, slowing down the process of building the whole thing. Now, there is something to be said of, well, you're basically just adding to the Dyson Sphere at the rate at which you're adding stuff, right? You're getting a certain amount of power added to the Dyson Sphere with each delivery of the vertical launch and with each new solar sail that gets added whenever the planets are aligned properly to launch the solar sails. So what does it matter? You can just plan it out anyway and it'll do its thing regardless of how long it takes, because it's going to take however long it takes with the amount of stuff that you're throwing at it. True! I have been convinced. So, let me place my nodes. This may take a minute. We're just following along the, whoops, delete. Stop rotating. Thanks. The game is now paused. Why we have to pause the entire simulation to get the camera to stop rotating while in this planning mode? Like, why? Why do we have to pause the entire simulation? To stop the thing rotating? Like, why is it rotating to begin with? We are in a planning mode. Why is the thing rotating? We shouldn't be rotating, period, and the game should still run. Without the camera moving. Like, or without the entire sphere moving, because it's not actually really the camera that's moving, it's the star is spinning and the simulation is orbiting the star, and it's what's displayed is the actual simulation of how it looks in reality, but this should be a static screen. This screen should be static regardless, right? And the simulation should still keep moving. Like, I should be able to just watch as the ships come in from this screen with everything being static. Or I shouldn't even see the ships coming in. Like, why do I need to see the ships coming in? Why do I need to see the solar sails coming in to the nodes on this screen? You can watch it happen on this screen, but that's not information that's necessary. You can watch that in the actual star map happening live. Oh boy, we're not even part way done yet because we have to do this entire process on the other hemisphere. And then the top. How is this gonna work? Because that's too close. Now there are different patterns that you can use. This is just me being me. Guessing. Like, oh yeah, that looks fine. Looks fine by me. The question is what's gonna happen when I tell it to fill in that. Exactly that. Cool. So this is what I missed in the last stream. What is the radius of this sphere? I don't know. I really don't know, actually. Big. Big is the radius of this sphere. So I think you may get the idea on the planning of the Dyson Sphere. Have we done it? Yes, we have done it. We have finished the top of the Dyson Sphere. Now we have to make the top look, we have to make the bottom look like the top. Oh, isn't that gonna be glorious? That is glorious. Okay, whoops. Delete. So this layer, it just doesn't tell me the shell layer radius on here. Like, there's no information to tell me once you've made it. Which is a little weird, actually, because it tells you the radius on the swarm. So this is about the radius of the equatorial swarm on 1. So whatever 1 is, that's about the distance of this sphere. So it's a lot of resources to build this. Yes, it would be a bit more efficient to build this around a blue giant. But, yeah. If you want to produce universe matrices at scale, you're gonna need multiple Dyson spheres around multiple stars to produce the photons for the antimatter. I don't think there's any way around that. So, what would be, I think, the, like, very late game thought process would be build a setup, right? Build a setup where you are remotely providing your solar sails. Just a setup on a planet dedicated to making, like, the solar sails and dedicated to making the vertical launch shuttles. Completely dedicated to those things. Maybe 2 separate planets, one for each of them, where they're importing all of the ingredients to do it and exporting those parts, along with, you know, warpers and all of that. And then what you can do is you just use other planets, I want you to did I just do? Did I somehow place multiple things? I don't know what I just did. I don't know. So from my personal experience here, sending the solar sails to multiple different orbits, it has pulled all of them in. My Dyson Sphere has pulled in every single one that I have launched of the solar sails among several of these orbits. Orbits that are even... there's probably a limit. There is probably a limit from very far away, but as long as they're somewhat close radius, I think it's fine. Everything will be sucked in. Okay, I need to now align myself properly. Actually, I need to remove that because our line that we're drawing is this one. That's the line we're drawing. Yeah, you can just fire them into one spot. What? No. Absolutely not what I intended. Hi. Dead center. Thanks. Dead. The deadest of centers. I have an extra node right here. Like, why are you? Huh? There we go. That's better. This is finicky. Why can we not automate this? Like, seriously? Why do we have to do this part? I mean, yeah, I get it. We can personalize it. Is it worth it? Nah. Like, give us some predefined options if we don't want to tweak it ourselves. Right? Wouldn't that be nice? Like, give us this. Like, just the one that goes around the grid lines by default. It'd be like, hey, if you want to edit it, feel free. Do what you want to do. Personalize it. But I'm lazy, and I don't want to do this to every single stupid star. Like, imagine doing this for every single star, right? That you want to put a Dyson Sphere around. But at least we made it symmetric, right? At least it's symmetrical around the whole thing. Yay. We can now run the game. And, I don't know how long it's going to take before it tries to put nodes on the top and bottom. It's likely not going to immediately. It has some weird prioritization. Clearly, it has some weird prioritization of how it orders, how it's building the stuffs. But regardless, it is that time. I want to restock a little bit, actually, before we leave. Give me some stuff. You there. I want some of those. I want some of that. I want some of those. What else? What else do I want? How many? I've got smelters, I've got mining machines, plenty of mining machines. I've got some thermal power stations. I don't have a lot, though. I don't have a lot, though. We got some wind turbines. Let's... All of these have warpers and are able to deliver the things as I request them at this point. Oh, the glorious things that I have done off-screen in my wonderful free time while recovering from my neck injury during the time periods that I was actually able to concentrate, mind you, because I wasn't really able to concentrate completely. We're gonna go visit the neutron star and the black hole. It's that time to visit the neutron star and the black hole. We're gonna visit the neutron star first, which is DSR? No, that's the black hole. NTR is the neutron star. So let's go to NTR first. This place is 21.6 light years away. So let's get started on this journey. I'm out of coffee. So the question is, with antimatter fuel, can we get there in one warp? That is the question. Can we get there in one warp? So, with sufficient tech upgrades, my guess would be that we would be able to recharge fast enough. The life of a solar sail is longer. Thanks for telling me. I'm way out of alignment because of all that. NTR. Well, I mean, as long as I don't arrange stuff. So yeah, it's looking like we have enough to get there. Yeah, the solar sail life techs are completely pointless at this point. They're only useful when setting up a Dyson swarm around a fresh star before getting the permanent structure around it in that period of time. So my point is, with a sufficient tech, you'd actually not lose... You'd actually not drain from here while in warp with sufficient tech, which I find neat. We're barely make... Yep, there we go. We have arrived at NTR. 2.5 astronomical units away from the solitary planet that exists here. There is one planet around this rather beautiful neutron star that is just 1.2-ish billion years old, is extremely hot, just 14 million Kelvin, and is 0.767 luminosity. So that's not actually all that bad, really, on the luminosity. This would make a decent Dyson sphere. The planet, though, has 1.1 million unipolar magnets, which isn't much. It also has fire ice, 5 million of that, and 13 million fractal silicon, with a 147% solar ratio. Ah! That's good. Also, 60 million titanium. I've also missed. Buddy. So, it's a 147% solar ratio. Yep, GG. So fractal silicon. I don't really like the fractal silicon. I don't know how worthwhile it is. Cause oh, and there's actual regular silicon here too. Cause the fractal silicon is used to make the silicon crystals, which, yeah, unit per unit, I guess it's better, but yeah, not tidally locked. It will tell you if it's tidally locked. It is, rotation 191. Orbital, wow. That's a while. Pretty large orbital period. And what's the axial tilt? 8 degrees, 57 minutes, nearly 9 degrees. So, yeah, this stuff. I've got lots of planets that have this stuff. Fractal silicon, it's just the crystals. And what are the crystals used for? Well, glad you asked. The crystals, they get used in accumulators. So that is a thing. They are used in particle broadband. Okay. That saves an ingot, which is a 2-to-1 from the ore, so okay. It's fine, it's just not the most impressive. Okay? Not the most impressive of rare resources to me, anyway. Now, there is one vein that I'm looking for in particular, and that is that vein right over there of the unipolar magnets. Unipolar magnet vein. This stuff is far more impressive. Unipolar magnets. Aren't these like just theoretical? Just a note, aren't these like mostly theoretical or really, really hard to make? Just conceptually, a magnet with one pole. How? They are theoretical? Again, because real hard to get. And this is why they're sort of only around a neutron star and a black hole, right? This is why in this game they're such a rare resource. They're also the best to have of the rare resources. They're unfortunately incredibly rare resources. The reason why they are incredibly good, they save graphene and copper and iron. They save 3 resources for the unipolar magnets. You make particle containers with them. It is a crap ratio. However, for the unipolar magnets into the particle containers, this is the only use of the unipolar magnets. The reason why I say you save copper is because you need to make magnetic coils for the electromagnetic turbines. It saves electromagnetic turbines, which is huge. It saves 2 per particle container of the electromagnetic turbines, which that's 4 engines, 4 coils. 4 engines is another 4 coils. It saves you 8 coils, which is 8 magnets and 4 copper by itself. 8 magnets, 4 copper, and then another, few iron ingots between the ingots and the gears. More solar sail life. How many turbine assemblers do I run right now? I don't know. A few on a planet somewhere that I've forgotten about. That probably is resource starved. Yeah. So, I am making quite a few of them, but just in terms of the resource efficiency, this would be great. Speaking of resource efficiency, I don't want to tap this now. There's a good reason I don't really want to tap this now. This may be 1 million units of stuff, but this is such a rare resource. There's only 2 sources of this in this entire star cluster. Yes, they do just require iron and copper, and yes, those are very common resources. We're also saving graphene. We're also saving graphene. Wait, is that really? Wait, what? The cost doesn't scale. Please tell me that that's just a visual bug. Please tell me that's a visual bug and not true. That is broken if that is true. That is completely broken if that is true. That is a flat 4K infinitely. If that is a flat 2K infinitely. Minus 15% can actually be infinite because that is a multiplicative. Minus 15%, I'm pretty sure. So the ray, it gets less valuable the closer you get to 100% ray efficiency. Just like 0.99 or 99.9, 99.999, etc., etc. And yeah, it's like with enough productivity, your resources are infinite. So, yeah. Also, infinite construction drone flight speed. That can get insane. Infinite mech charging has an effective limit. Infinite drones. Oh joy. Oh no, this is a level 7, so that actually stops. Oh no, this is infinite. Infinite drones! Infinite drones building. Yes, that helps. Not as much use on the max core energy, though. The max core energy... I don't think this needs an infinite. I don't think this needs an infinite. Not if we have circuit. Energy circuit fills the role. Because once you're able to charge faster than even warp speed drains, then you're fine. You need it for infinite drones. Again, as long as you're able to charge fast enough, like the rate of charging is far more important. Solar sail life ends. There is no infinite solar sail life. Rate transmission efficiency, infinite, but gets to like 99.9%. Where even is that? Where is solar ray basic energy dissipation? 41.33. Sorter stacking has an end. 5 is the end. So yeah, we're gonna queue up that. To hell with that one. Queue up all of that infinitely. We're gonna get that vein utilization. Glorious vein utilization. Screw solar sails. Screw ray transmission. I need to get my science to a science lab, though, before I can do that. I need to get the universe matrix to a lab first. Stacking's actually the better option for right now, and I will keep the other techs going for the moment, because those are the last techs that don't... Oh, besides research speed. So I don't want to tap this now. That's my whole point that I was trying to make. Veins utilization research is an infinite technology, and you can actually get your ore consumption per miner product down a lot. Now that says 73.39. 66666. So 5 consecutive minus 6%. So the first one's a 100 times 0.94. Then it's also that, and it's minus 6% of 94, not minus 6% of 100 for the next one. Yeah, so it's 73.39 after 5, and yeah, it's exponential. 100 times 0.94 to the... Let's be like, to the 10! And that'll be 53. So... we need a lot of vein utilization tech. And it'll never get to 0. It'll never get to 0. And it would take a lot to get that down to effective infinite. Because there is going to be a point where it's effective infinite. And, what would that be? I don't know. Let's say 100? Oh. That would be effectively infinite at 100 of these techs, as long as they're all 4K. I mean, you're eventually going to get there. That'd bring it down to 0.2 to 0.2% ore consumption rate. Like, what consumption rate would you consider effectively infinite? Well, if a patch is 1,000,000, if the patch is effectively 20 million, so a factor of 20, right? If it's a factor of 20, what would that be percentage-wise? What would the ore consumption rate be for it to be the equivalent? Like, to get 20 million out using the full million units? It's a 500x multiplier. Now, what I'm referring to is a 20 times multiplier, so that would be... that would be down to 5? 5. Yeah, 5%. So, how many thingies would it take to get to 5%? Let's solve an equation for x where x is an exponent. Or we can just guess. Because I really don't want to bring up that math memory. 50 is close. A bit much. 100 times 0.94 raised to the 40. That's 8. So it's between 40 and 50. It's between 40 and 50. Yeah, 5% would happen somewhere between 40 and 50 iterations, and then times 4,000. Science, of course. So just for our own personal edification, we're going to go and have a look at the... excuse me, but I am here, and I hit the caps lock button. Thanks. And that would be the number of times that we would need to take the tech total to have that 1 to 20 ratio. So, patch size 1,000,000 provides 20 million before it runs out. If you take the tech just a few more times, you're gonna end up getting like 40 to 50 to 60 million out of that vein. So, or more. And it's, each time you get the tech, it's even more, and even more, and even more. Welcome to the black hole. It is precisely 49, okay. That is the black hole. Say hello to the black hole. There it is. They have provided rings of light, magic rings of light around the black hole. There it is. It's 48.41. We have magical light. We'll have a look at it once we land on this planet. There is precisely one planet in this system to land on. How this planet exists? Captured rogue planet. Okay, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. The black hole caught a rogue planet from some other system after it was already a black hole. So this black hole from this map, not too spectacular on the star map, sadly. Luminosity of 0.189. You can totally build a Dyson sphere around it. You can actually build a Dyson sphere around the thing. Yes, it is absolute zero. Which is odd. But hey, it's also apparently only 30 million years old. And has a mass of 57.912 m. Whatever m is. In this case, big M is. Mass of... No, I'm thinking density, right? A black hole is effectively infinite density, isn't that what it's supposed to be? So I really don't know about how mass plays a role in it, but hey, it be super heavy. It's supremely heavy. So this planet here has got 47 million titanium. Unmeasurable, yeah. This planet here has 70 million fire ice. That is an effectively infinite supply of graphene and hydrogen. This planet has 4 million fractal silicon and 2.3 million unipolar magnets on 2 resource nodes. Again, do I want to tap the unipolar magnets at this point in time? Probably not. But then we get into the mind games, I suppose. You know how we were talking about, oh, you could take enough technologies to make the resource effectively infinite on this rare resource? Well, the problem with that line of thinking is that, but then all of your resources are effectively infinite, are they not? If you've taken that tech enough times, all of your resources are effectively infinite, so why would you even need unipolar magnets at that point? Because you're gonna have the infinite supply of iron and copper and graphene. Why even bother with the unipolar magnets? Well, it's because it's still an overall savings in power and a reduction in the total number of entities that we need to devote towards particle containers. It vastly simplifies the production chain to get into the particle containers. Scales down the infrastructure. That is the exact reason. So, how do we get power on this planet? We have a 92% solar energy ratio on a black hole. We have a 92% solar energy ratio on a black hole. Has there been an update to this game? Not since the 10th, which I figured as much. We're 60 hours into this save, by the way, 59:35. So yeah, that's a thing. And of course, once your coal is effectively infinite, so is your power. Right? Like, you get enough of that technology over time, and this is just done at that point. So we're not going to build here yet, is the idea. We're going to build here. We're not going to build here yet. Where's the black hole? There it is. Why, hello there, black hole. Now, there is nothing that can destroy your mech in this game, including the black hole, including any sun. You can just dive into the sun and you're fine. You can just dive into the black hole and you just bounce off the entity. It's not a great thing, or it's not a thing that you can really do at this point. So, with that stuff said and done, let us head back to Aklarkrov. Let's head home. We have visited our neutron star and our black hole, which, by the way, when I was looking at, like, randomizing seeds on the new game screen, it seems like the game really wanna keeps you with one black hole and one neutron star. The placement is relatively random, so maybe when you're making a new save, try to get one that has either the black hole or the neutron star within a short distance from your home, or wherever you plan your home to be, because you may want to tap into those unipolar magnets, and maybe you'll get lucky with like a 15-20 mil unipolar magnet planet, because the resource density is random, or, you know, you just roll infinite density, infinite resources from the start, and there you go. Glorious unipolar magnets for effective infinity. Just skirt on by Ross Hamill over here on our way to Aklarkrov. Let's see how we do on our power here, because we are still a little ways away. And we are heading right into Aklarkrov 3. We're gonna get close and then exit, all on its own. That is very nice and very interesting. Oh yeah, we totally have 585 gigajoules of power in our fuel chamber. Just casually. Alright, Aklarkrov 3, I am on my way. So have they placed any other nodes? Doesn't look like it. Look at all the glorious solar sails. All the glorious, that wonderful massive blue. That's all the solar sails getting added and sucked in. They turn this nice little cyan color when they get reserved for use in the actual Dyson Sphere. So you can immediately know that solar sails are being sucked in from your permanent structure. For your permanent structure from the swarm. Ah, so pretty. My hope is that I'm adding more sails than I am launching stuff to grow the nodes. So that eventually the whole thing is just full up and waiting for nodes to happen. It's not just a machine gun, it's a bunch of rail guns. We're home. Alright, Tower of Science. I need this. Thank you for that tech. Clear and reset on that, because we don't need that supplied anymore. It is time for the Universe Matrix to be demanded. Yes, the amount of power produced... I said this in the last stream. The amount of power produced by the solar sails goes down when they do become part of the permanent structure, but they also become permanent! They go from 36 kilowatts at luminosity 1 to 15 kilowatts at luminosity 1 of the star. So they actually lose half their effectiveness, really. Okay, I do not need that, and I do not need that. I want that. I want all of that. And of course I could take the tech to just, you know, beat the game. But, I'm good. I'm good. So let's see how this looks when we are, in fact, consuming this science. It is dancing with white at this point. We are dancing white cube. Just the one cube inside. All the lights are now white, going up the chain. And it is, in fact, glorious. Now, all of the science that's being made is being shipped to produce more universe science. Universe matrices. So everything that's being made is going and shoving into here, making up to 1 per second as long as I am able to provide the energy matrix, the red cubes, at the full rate. Which, of course, over time we should, because we're making at least 2 per second of that. And it's only going to get used here. Ah, it's glorious. Beautiful, glorious, and magnificent. And of course, this is, I'm making a bit more than 1 of the critical photons per second. Just a bit more than 1. It takes 6 of the ray receivers at 125 megawatts with graviton lenses to get 1 photon per second. 6 of them. I have 9 producing critical photons right now, so I have 1.5. So I can make the fuel rods. the antimatter fuel rods. So let's keep this in mind, that is using a lot, 125 megawatts times 9 from the Dyson Sphere. It's not from the local grid, it's from the Dyson Sphere. So you need a Dyson Sphere capable of producing that much power to get as much photons as you want for the antimatter that you want. And it's a little extreme. Ah, they are building! They are building on the north! Can I afford the artificial suns? I mean, yeah, I could. I could make the artificial suns. Oh, hey, and there's a node on the south. A node exists! In the new areas. And the solar sails are starting to creep their way down and up the sphere. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice, indeed. My only slight complaint about this is that the solar sails are a little too slow to get to their destination. They take their sweet-ass time getting sucked in. Oh, they just meander and they make their way and loop in one by one into the individual nodes, and then it grows the sail stuff in between. They go into a node and it fills an area of all 4 quadrants around the node. Slowly but surely, as it fills in. The problem at firing at just one plane is that not all of the things can fire all of the time at just one plane, regardless of where they are on the planet. So I have them going to different planes so that ideally they can fire year-round. We can have something firing. Apparently I have messed up a little bit, and there are certain angles that they can't at some time of the year. But right now they seem to be going quite well. Quite quickly. Ah, we're good now. The red is being completely converted. So, theoretically, every 4,000 seconds, we get a productivity bonus on our resources. Every hour, we get a productivity bonus on our resources. Maybe we should, speed that up a bit. So now that we have basically beaten the game, right? I think we can agree. We have won. All I need to do is spend 4,000 science on the tech that legit says that I have won. Like, that's it? That's the only thing we need to do? What do we want to do going forward? Since that's basically it, it's just to check to see that you've made universe matrices in the end. Shall we scale harder? Because the initial idea would be, okay, we have 1 matrix per second of universe matrix. Let's get 2 We have 1. Let us get 2. And then 4. And then 8. 60 a minute. Well, I mean, we're making 1. We're making that. That is our current. That is the amount that we're getting right now. We're getting 60 a minute. We've got a stack of 15. We've got a stack of 15 labs making ultimately 1 per second of these. And we have all the back-end infrastructure making that 1 per second. So the next logical thing to do would be to do more. A lot more. 8 per second would be 500 SPM, approximately. So, what are the things that I would need to do to get more? Well, some things are particularly easy, like the blue stack here. I just need to make more labs on here. And I can ship in the stuff to make the blues. Where are my labs? Here. Make my labs. Thanks. Make a bunch of labs. And this stack is actually able to make how much? We've got 1 every 3 seconds. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're making a lot. You're already making like 3 per second, so... Huh. Nah? You don't even need much adjustment. You just need the thingies brought in, don't you? Magnets? What am I even using magnets for up here? It's the same freaking thing. Like, what am I doing? Hold up. You. Clear. These. Demand. Like, get these. And in this thing that actually has the magnets before, just bring in the coils. Just bring in the coils and then make this line, since it's now coils, it doesn't need to be there doing that thing. It's just go there. Input there, input there. Yay! Now I'll need to upgrade the belt, I think, so we can do more stuff. Also, that. Thanks. Welcome. Welcome to the things. Oh, isn't that just... Doesn't that feel good? That feels so good, being able to do that. Just shift, click, delete all of the everything. Okay. Question. It is 1-to-1, so 3 per second would... Yep. Go into 3 per second. That's fine. That's fine. What I need more of is probably the reds. I think we came to the conclusion that this stack was able to make just greater than 2, that it's got 13 on this stack. This is going to have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. And then we're going to add another 6 there, and that'll help a bit. I don't think I need 2. Don't quite think I need 2, but what I will need is to upgrade this belt. This is a really long stretch of belt. I think I am going to try to get Mark II stuff. I'm holding way, way, way too many mining drills. Let's get Mark II belt. I don't really have it being stored because I'm making Mark III belt, and the Mark III belt is getting stored. But I should have a thingy with only 30. Great. Great. Hey, can I sneak a... Yes, I can. Let's keep a couple of stacks of the Mark IIs in there. Aw. Dang. I don't have Mark I's and I can't fit the Mark II in here. Well, no matter. Does not matter. In the slightest. This is the Mark III assembling machine. It's getting loaded onto the interstellar logistics system, which is just fantastic. Loving it. Alright, how you doing? Decently is how you're doing. The idea is that I'm going to do an upgrade, and then I'm going to upgrade again. I just need enough of this stuff to do said upgrade. From Mark I to Mark II to Mark III. If I have to do it segment by segment, so be it. I'd rather not, though. Alright, where even is it? Yeah-ish. Why, hello there. You need to upgrade. Haha. Success is mine. My glorious success. Oh, it does as much as you have. Okay. That's nice. Now that's very nice. Very nice indeed. Have I done that upgrade? Ooh. Ooh. Yes, upgrade all of this. Yeah, you have a reach distance. That's true. So how you doing on all this? Go! Be free! Yeah, I know, that it's upgraded already to Mark III. I'd rather that information be in a very set, specific location, though, on the screen and not on a moving tooltip. That just seems a little dumb. Yeah. Yeah. I like this feature. I don't know if you've noticed, but I like the feature. I like the feature a lot. Actually, this could be deleted. I'm gonna keep all the nice little glowing doohickeys around. Nice, glorious, glowing doohickeys. Huh. How much is that processing? How many seconds is that? Is that 10 seconds? That's actually closer to 15. How many hashes is a cube? How many hashes is a cube? I need to know this information. Because, if that's taken 15 seconds to process, then I need a stack of 15 to process 1 per second. Ugh, I need glass. Glass! Glass, I need you. There's my glass. Oh. I also need this, apparently. So, that should be the blue and reds scaled quite a bit. The yellows, I did add a bit already to the yellows. How much? 8 per one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 2.5 per second. That will do for now on all of those. Yeah, go ahead and do that processing. I'll just stack up the next stack there when I need to process more. But I do understand that I will need probably just another spot at some point to process all of the science that I'm making. It is 15 seconds. Okay. That's what it seemed like to me. It would not surprise me if it was identical to the amount of time it took to create the science in the first place as the number of hashes. I need purple cubes. Purple cubes? Purple cubes, why you know purple? Well, the tower is purpling. Uh, 10 into 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes sense. You're going at your full rate. And that is just that. I need another matrix lab. I need coils. I need coils. I do declare that I need a few coils in my life. There we go. There's some coils. Make everything! I should just automate these. I don't know why I'm not just automating these. It's probably because I'm lacking coils. Lacking magnetic coils. But hey. I think we're fine. I think we're fine and dandy. A reminder for folks who are here and around and aren't members of the channel. One more member of the channel will permanently unlock another emote slot for me. And I've been trying to think about what I want as the extra emote / replacing existing emotes for actual emotes. You know, as things that are images to represent emotions rather than just images. That would be ideal. Because right now it's just they're images that don't really represent emotions. I think the most relevant that I have is the brain. I think the brain is the most relevant of my emotes, which again you can only use if you are a member. And you can use them in chat, and you can use them in comments, etc., etc. So long as you are a member. Brain, I think, has utility. The non-zero... I don't really say that as much anymore. We have non-zero amounts of our matrix cubes now. Greater than 0 amounts of stuff. I did one too many there. Oh gosh. I need more of these things. That is a Mark II machine, but that's at a ratio with the crystal silicon. So I was mentioning about the crystallized silicon not being as valuable. I mentioned this. Well, its value is exactly here and only here.
Foundation, a terrain leveling tool.
Yeah, it's foundation. You know what Foundation is great for? Ocean planets. One of these places, it's either Lambda Valorum or Notice. It's Notice, I'm pretty sure. Has a planet with a bunch of the fractal silicon, and I think it's the optical rating crystal planet, too. It is an ocean planet with 100% ocean. Almost. It's 99.8% ocean. 0.2% constructible area of the planet. All of the resource nodes are underwater. And it's neat. It's like shallow ocean. Like, you can see the resource nodes under the water, but you can't mine them because they're underwater. I was wanting to go here for optical grading crystals because it's nearby and it's a B-type star and it's nice. And it's on the way to the black hole. Too. It's like, oh, this is a decent spot. But it's an ocean planet that's completely covered by water. So that's a thing. How's this red giant? Luminosity 1.035. This massive 14R red giant. It is nice how you can actually see the difference in size and luminosity of all of the different star types from the map view. Like, there's even white dwarfs. A glorious white dwarf. If I'm not mistaken, this is the future of our sun. As that it will become a white dwarf for a very long part of its end of life. Something along those lines, anyway. It's just gonna get really big, and then it's gonna get really small. After it got really big. And destroying the Earth in the process. There's optical grading crystals here! And kimberlite for diamond, which again, kimberlite and fractal silicon have that same thing where it's like, okay, I've saved an amount of coal and I've saved an amount of silicon. The ratio of coal into the energetic graphite is, of course, 2 to 1. They are, and it's the same with the silicon. The ore into the ingots is 2 to 1, and then it's the energetic graphite into diamonds in a 1 to 1, and then the silicon ingot into the crystals at a 1 to 1. So those two things, the kimberlite and the silicon crystals, they fill that same role. The rare resources. They cut in half. Well, they make it so that you've cut a full step out of the process. Yes, it will turn into a white dwarf. Well, after the sun takes out at least the inner 3 planets. Mars is going to be a little screwed over. No matter what. Mars gets screwed in this equation. It's not going to get completely engulfed by the sun, but it's still gonna get screwed. If it's even still there. That's another thing. You never know when we're gonna get a perturbation from some other entity, high-mass entity, rolling nearby. Doesn't take too much to throw things out of whack. Isn't there gonna be another brown dwarf going through close encounter? Something like that at some point. And actually not that long of a time. Because I've been seeing that information too. That could throw some things out of whack. So, let me just get my bearings here. This is working. At the rate I get the purples. The rate I get the purples is limited to the rate I get the broadband. And the rate I get the broadband is pretty much limited to the rate I get the silicon in. And plastic, apparently. Oh boy. Oh joy, oh bliss. Plastic. One to one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I am lacking. I am no longer lacking. Whoops. I don't know if I have enough plastic. Plastic is the one thing that is going to be the constant oil consumer. There is no way around that with the plastic, sadly. You can dodge oil on basically everything else but plastic, so there's always going to be something that needs the refined oil. Fortunately, because everything else has an alternative to the refined oil, you can throw all of your refined oil at the plastic issue. So somewhere on this planet, I actually have an area where I am making plastic. Where that is, I've forgotten. Here it is. Oh. That explains a few things. Demand. We need to demand. And stick that into there. And now we're going to start making far more sufficient amounts of our plastic, but there's not much room to scale this. Not gonna lie, that's not a lot of space to scale this from here. So, I may make some room up top to get more. This is every 3 seconds, so I've got 2 whole plastic per second here. Wow. 2 whole plastic per second. Well, I'll be. That's rather bad. There's double. There you go. We've doubled it. Roll that on down. Get the oil on down as well. And we'll make this line be the actual plastic output. And this is going to be the last thing that we do for the day, folks. Because we have reached the end of the stream for the day. I will need to power everything as well. And that, and that. Power. Doinky. 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 Ta-da! We have doubled! Successfully doubled our plastic. Huzzah! And fixed a little bit of a slight issue with the production of the carbon. Carbon? Graphite. Same difference, but still graphite. It's carbon. Graphite's carbon. It's all carbon. You are covering 0. You are covering 0. Yay! 7, like less than 18k left here on this glorious ore patch. Yeah, not much. Well, with that, folks, I'm going to call it here. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Show, but if you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell, become an Erudite Otaku member of the channel, and, of course, you can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushow, but if you are so inclined and able, and I shall return with more Dyson Sphere Program tomorrow afternoon. I will be back, though, in the morning with more Autonauts, and of course, more Factorio will follow on Tuesday morning. I hope to see you all on the next one.